Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it. Believe it or not, there is a war against veterans and VA disability compensation, even though it is completely legal and in place for us and part of our benefits system. It is riddled now with people and organizations talking negatively about it and painting it with a broad brushstroke of one-off circumstances of major fraud and painting the picture of all veterans are taking advantage of it in an illegal fashion, which is simply not true, coming directly from the VA's IG. There's a lot of guesses and I thinks and all of that, which don't mean anything. At the end of the day, veterans as a whole are truthful and honest when it comes to receiving their legal VA disability compensation. Now, I think part of the problem is the word disability that's shoved in there really kind of tweaks the mindset for folks. Now, we're getting attacked from all over the place, whether it's the Washington Post's millions of articles or Lieutenant Colonel Greenberg or Lieutenant Colonel Gade or the Congressional Budget Office and so on. We are being attacked. Now, I wanted to talk through this because nothing good is going to come from all of these attacks. It's one of those situations where we have a group of whoever's out there that are essentially taking little notches out of everything that has been worked for and obtained by veterans over the course of decades. What we have today was due in part to all of the veterans who came before us. And quite frankly, the Vietnam era vets really went through a lot in order to get us to where we are. And the fight has continued. Now we have this weird erosion happening, and sadly, from folks that are in uniform as well, and or have been, and publications out there that claim to have all of the answers, when the VA themselves say that it is a minute issue. Congress itself, on the Senate side, said, look, it's a small fraction, and we shouldn't change the entire system based on a few bad apples. Now, before we jump into it any further, I want to throw on a special thank you to Yeehaw101. Yeehaw101, thank you so much for the super comment, super chat. I really do appreciate your support very much, Yeehaw101. So, with this war that's going on out there, what are some potential issues that we could face? We could face a revamp of sorts. Is it going to affect us today with the VA disability compensation that we already have awarded? Most likely not. Most likely not, because, for lack of a better word, we would be grandfathered in. This is more about the things you've never claimed and those coming behind us, right? And my approach is, it is our duty to protect and preserve what we have for those that come behind us, right? We're kind of like the keepers in a weird way. So that's kind of my mindset on it. But the other piece is if you cannot answer this question, and I've been throwing this out there a little bit now, if you can't answer this question solidly, well, then we need to have a discussion. And here's the question. Are you properly rated? And specifically to those that are not 100% permanent and total, right? So if you are not 100% permanent and total, my question is, are you properly rated? Now, don't knee-jerk reaction that and say, yep, I am. Think about it a little deeper than just that surface question. What that really means is, are you connected for every service connectable condition, direct service connected condition that you could be rated for? Okay. Obviously, you have to have the condition. You need to, be diagnosed and all of that type of stuff, and be able to prove the nexus to your time in service. But the reality is that a lot of people miss things. So, are you connected for all of your direct service connected conditions that you could potentially be rated for? Secondly, do you have any conditions that you're currently rated for that maybe, just maybe, you didn't get the correct rating? You didn't know what the VA needed, okay? Or the VA read what you had some other information, and ended up just going, well, it's kind of in between the two. We'll give you this rating instead of that rating. In other words, did you get lowballed, right? That's another question. The next piece of that question is, did any of your conditions get worse over time? Because now you might warrant an increase on those conditions. The next piece of that question is, are there any secondaries that have manifested due to your service-connected conditions? The next one is, are there any presumptive conditions out there, or conditions that relate to TARA out there, that you could potentially file for? And again, this is really focused on those who have never filed a claim ever, or you're sub 100%. If you cannot answer that question, are you properly rated? With all those little caveats to it, solidly, yes, I am. Then I ask you, I ask you to please go to, I don't even know how to frame that. So I ask you, look, go to a free accredited representative, find one that's capable and competent, have a discussion with them, and make sure that you're solid. Now, I get it. Not everywhere is the same. Some areas have more to offer when it comes to free accredited representation. If you cannot find a free accredited representative to help you, reach out to us. We are happy to help you. Evidence-based VA claims, you can go to the website. I'll put it in the description and in the comments, or you can just shoot us an email at vaclaims@ebvaclaims.com. Again, I'll put all that information in the description and in the comments for you, so it's easy to just click on and go from there. Evidence-based VA claims. That is what you should do. Why? Because we'll give you a free email consultation. We'll go back and forth with you. We'll see where you're at and see if there's anything that you missed, or anything that maybe you got rated low on, where you currently sit, and if it makes sense to move forward. If we think it makes sense to move forward, we'll let you know. And if we take on your coaching, then we guarantee that you will get an increase if you follow the steps that we tell you to do. So with that, at the end of all of this, the reality is there's a war against VA disability compensation, and I don't know where it's going to go. But what we do know is that today, we know what we're dealing with. We know what we have today. Utilize the benefits that are available to you legally. Don't let anybody shame you. Legally, go get the benefits that you earned through your honorable service and move on, right? Run your race, do your thing, and at the end of the day, know that what you're doing is helping you and your family, and that is the end of it. You're not trying to please anybody else. You're not trying to please the Greenbergs, the Washington Post, anything else. I will say this: don't jump online and start acting a fool like some of these people on TikTok. I don't even go there. For those that know me, Clay over at the CivDiv and myself, we partnered up. We do a lot of work together for the greater good, and we have our joint channel, Veterans Daily, and we collectively brought out evidence-based VA claims. Clay, who's much younger than me, he's the TikTok guy. So, if you want to be disgusted, there's some disgusting stuff on TikTok. So anyway, don't brag about where you're at. Keep it to yourself. Combat Craig, rest his soul, was one of those individuals that really hammered that point home. Nobody needs to know. Run your race, do you, be good to go. A comment here and there, that's good, but you don't need to go out and share it all over the world. With that, we'll go ahead and end it there. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you very much. Have a great one. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.